dealer wake up, fucked up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. People look at you like you's the user, selling drugs to all the losers, mad Buddha abuser. But they don't know about your stress-filled day. Baby on the way, mad bills to pay. That's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so devilish. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping those 62s, cause GED wasn't B.I.G. I had to get P.A.D., that's why my mom hate me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out Nicks went for 20 down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power move. Glock 19 for casket and flower moves. For Trump's trying to stop my flow. And what they don't know will show on the autopsy. Went to see Poppy to cop me a brick. Asked for some consignment, he wasn't trying to hear it. Smoking mad Newports cause I'm doing court for an assault that I caught in Bridgeport, New York. Catch me if you can like the gingerbread man. You better have your gat in hand, cause man,
a day in the life of a fool. A day in the life of a fool.
I had the master plan, I'm in the caravan on my way to Maryland with my man Two Tex to take over this project. They call him Two Tex, he told Two Tex. And when he start the bus, he like to ask who's next. I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of her ass. 2 pounds of hash in the stash. I wait for her to make some quick cash. I told her she could be lieutenant, bitch got gas. At last, I'm literally lounging black, sitting back, counting double-digit thousand stacks. Had to re-up to see what's up with my peeps. Toyota dealer gone, had it cheap on the Jeep. See who got smoked, what rumors were spreading. Last I heard I was dead, with 6 to the head. Then I got the phone call, it couldn't hit me harder. We got infiltrated, like Nino at the Carter. Heard Tech got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some bitch named Alberta over nickel-plated burners. And my bitch, swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3. Until then I looks out for the whole family. A true G, that's me, blowing like a bubble in the everyday struggle.
A day in the life of a fool.
I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door.
A day in the life of a fool.
I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door.
A sad and a long, lonely day. I walk the avenue and hope I'll run into the welcome sight of you coming my way.
I don't wanna live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug joke, another day, another struggle.
Okay, guess we doing just fine. Said I'm not yours, so I say you're not mine. I don't want love, no.
Forget that heat, bitch.
Okay, guess we doing just fine. Said I'm not yours, so I say you're not mine. Okay, just a waste of my time. Out of my head, of my mind. Say you wanna leave, so I let you go. Guessing it was me, guess I never know. I don't want love no more. I'm
Yeah, ay. Even though I'm lonely, I don't need no friends. Money stacking like the Eiffel, like it's France. That bitch got her eyes low at my pants. All these watches make you go blind at a glance. Just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, don't get no advance unless it brings trust. I need a drink, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't need no hoe, I need my band, yeah. I just got the diamond straight from France, yeah. I just got the go yard on my pants, yeah. I just got two bitches and they 10, yeah, yeah. Just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, don't get no advance unless it brings trust. I need a drink, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm talking rubber bands, you talking $100 bills, yeah. New bitch on a perk, but my old bitch on them other pills. Got like 20 plays, how you even gon' say fuck a deal? I done made a band, and my pockets feel like Jonah Hill, yeah. Yeah, I don't got no chain to it, you might get your chain to it. I just got a band, now the diamonds on my ring, look, ayy. Why you talking sauce, you don't got shit, ay. Yeah, I just seen your parents put your watch, bitch, ayy, ayy. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, ay. Even though I'm lonely, I don't need no friends. Money stacking like the Eiffel, like it's France. That bitch got her eyes low at my pants. All these watches make you go blind at a glance. Just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, don't get no advance unless it brings trust. I need a drink, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't need no hoe, I need my band, yeah. I just got the diamond straight from France, yeah. I just got the go yard on my pants, yeah. I just got two bitches and they 10, yeah, yeah. Just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, don't get no advance unless it brings trust. I need a drink, drink, drink,
Drink. Ay. Even though I'm lonely, I don't need no friends. Money stacking like the Eiffel, like it's France. That bitch got her eyes low at my pants. All these watches make you go blind at a glance. Just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, just give me one chance, I'll leave you geeked up. Yeah, don't get no advance unless it brings trust. I need a drink, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star. Fucking with me, call up on the Uzi and show up, and then the shot dies. When my homies pull up on your block and make that thing go grata-ta-ta. Switch my whip, came back in black, I'm starting saying rest in peace to Bon Scott. Close that door, we blowing smoke. She asked me light a fire like a Marsan. Act a fool on stage, probably leave my fucking show in a cop car. She was legendary through a TV at the window of the montage. Cocaine on the table, liquor pouring, don't give a damn. Dude, your girlfriend is a groupie, she just trying to get in. Saying I'm with the band. Ay, ay. Now she acting out of pocket, trying to grab up on my pants. 100 bitches in my trailer city, ain't got a man. And they all brought a friend. Yeah, I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star. Fucking with me, call up on the Uzi and show up, and then the shot dies. When my homies pull up on your block and make that thing go grata-ta-ta. I've been in the hills, fucking superstars, feeling like a pop star. Drinking Henny, bad bitches jumping in the pool and they ain't got on no bra. Hit her from the back, blowing on the tracks and now she screaming out, blow my house. They're like, savage, why you rap?
got 6 cars.
I ain't with the kicking, how you kiss that? Your wifey say I'm looking like a whole stack. Green hundreds in my safe, I got old racks. LA bitches always asking where the coke at. Living like a rock star, smash out on a cop car, sweeter than a pop tart. You know you all night. I done make a hot shot, never used to trap hard. Living like a rock star, living like a rock star. I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star. Fucking with me, call up on the Uzi and show up, they name the shot dice. When my homies pull up on your block and make that thing go grata-ta-ta.
How is it going, everyone? It's Nerdy John with episode 49. 49 episodes of Nerdy Live. How you doing, guys? I think we have a very, very entertaining one today. I do have to make a mini rant about something first. Let me bring it up on screen. This woman, I can't stand her. Okay? Now, a lot of third wave feminists will tell you that there are self-hating women out there. Women with internalized misogyny. You know, they've been so brainwashed by the patriarchy that they can't liberate themselves as women. Now, generally, I don't believe that. I believe 99.9% of women who like go against the feminist movement to any degree. It doesn't even have to be completely if they disagree with them in one aspect. It doesn't mean that they have some sort of internalized misogyny. It's usually just their own opinion. Shocker. Oh. What? With this person? I would probably believe that if I'm being completely honest, because find one. Because I do know, like, I was quote tweeting her a bit today, and it's just the most stupid. Like, there was one where she was comparing, like, oh, well, 100 years ago, all women got married, were virgin, and nowadays they're not. We really lost something. And it's like, yeah, well, like 300 years ago, all I had to do was point out a woman and say that she was a witch, and guess what? She got burned at the stake. I don't see what your point is. Now, keep in mind, if you are someone who likes traditional values, good. Completely fine with me. Personally, I wouldn't mind a more traditional relationship. But what's funny is, Pearl is almost the type of woman that she complains about on her shows. Talks about the type of woman who is like getting close to 30 and, you know, is still single. You know, they have no value in society. Like, that's what she like. Well, Pearl, I hate to break this to you, but you're 26. All right, you ain't no spring chicken anymore. Hey, and what's this? You're still single? You're still relying on your dad's money? Huh. Kind of odd there, Pearl. That's all I'm saying. But okay, mini rant about Pearl over. I have some very exciting gaming news that got dropped today. I'm excited for this. I mean, you're gonna call me a weeb for this, guys, but I like this. Unreal Engine.
I'm not brave, but I kept trying. Not strong enough, but I kept going. With all the hardship away, knowing that if I don't fight, I'll
We're getting not just a remaster, because we did get a remaster a couple months ago, but we're getting a full-blown remake of Persona 3 in the style of Persona 5. So I imagine it's going to be way more accessible, because while Persona 3 started like the current archetype of Persona games everyone's more used to, social link aspect, night dungeons during the nighttime kind of thing, it was still rough around a lot of edges. I think this remake's going to be a really good way of updating everything, smooth lining some plot details. I can't wait for this personally. And another thing we have to talk about, we just have to, is the fact that Twitch almost screwed over all of their platform. In fact, even though they walked back the decision, in my opinion, they basically doomed whatever future that the platform had. You see, Twitch decided, let me see if I can even find the original tweet. I might have to go to the Dexerto. Luckily, look, Twitch has new branded content guidelines. On-stream logos are limited to 3% of screen size. Burned-in video ads are not allowed. Burned-in display ads are not allowed. Burned-in audio ads are not allowed. Now, when people think of sponsored content, people think of sponsored YouTube videos. Generally, that's where a good portion of sponsored content comes from. However, Twitch does have of sponsored streamers, especially sponsored events like esports events. A lot of those sponsors, instead of doing just like a regular ad read, what they'll have you do is they will have you put their logo, sponsored by Opera GX, use code Moist Critical to get so and so off, that type of thing. Well, they decided, they tried to say that this was no longer going to be allowed. Here's like the example, what they say would be okay. And by the way, I don't know how they were going to enforce this. My guess would be like the same way that they have been enforcing their other guidelines, is just like a quick ban hammer. I would imagine that if implemented, they probably would have given their bigger streamers more leniencies, as they've shown in the past. In reality, when it comes to Twitch content, it doesn't really matter. The policy itself doesn't matter. It's like, how much money have you made the platform? And oh yeah, here's like Asmongold's initial reaction to Twitch deciding to do this.
There is no reason for Twitch to do this other than to monetize, monopolize, and take advantage of smaller streamers. And keep in mind, this is all streamers. This is fucking somebody like me over, and it's fucking over the 300 viewer Andy that you watch for your own niche game at night. This is fucking everybody over in a way that does not need to happen. So yes, I will move to another platform. Non-exclusively, I will still stream on Twitch occasionally. If this goes through, I will actively start pursuing a deal.
So, and many other streamers as well have come out and stated that they are no longer going to be exclusively streaming onto Twitch. They're going to go to places like Kick, like YouTube. Some have even stated that they're going to Rumble. And oh boy, Twitch saw how badly this was going. And so yesterday, let's see. Is this the original? Sorry about that. Leave this. Sorry about that. This here is the original state. Yesterday, we released a new branded content guideline that impacted your ability to work with sponsors to increase your income streaming. These guidelines are bad for you and bad for Twitch, and we are removing them immediately. Okay, so this is not the original response. The original response was, "We understand that you are angry. It was on our fault for being too broad." I think this is the original reason why they initially decided to try and get rid or at least reduce sponsored content on the platform. See, that's not money that Twitch is directly getting. Twitch does not see any of that money. It's specifically between the sponsor and streamer. Now, Twitch, I guess, has their own like sponsorship program. They'll get you in contact with a sponsor. You do the sponsor thing, and then Twitch receives a portion of your money. And I guess this was probably a way they wanted to try and promote that more. Yeah, great idea there, Twitch. 10 out of 10 would totally recommend. They are pulling back on this hard. But what was it? There was another thing that got released recently. It's this thing right here. Twitch will reportedly charge affiliates $25 for canceling their agreement. Now, $25 to the average affiliate, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But still, the fact that they're even charging that is still just why? Why are you doing that in the first? Trainwreck said that Kick would never do something of this nature. Here is the specific tweet right here. As the third largest owner of Kick, I promise we will never touch your sub revenue. Promise that we will not pull any of this BS, which is pulling. We as streamers make the platform, not the other way around. Twitch got it twisted. Yeah, honestly, very interested to learn about what Twitch's numbers are going to be like for the next couple of, I would say, like the next year, because my guess is that they're going to see a significant decrease in the number of just from this incident, but other platforms allow you to do basically what Twitch, but better. Me personally, the reason why I like streaming onto YouTube, it's more convenient for me. I like the layout of of YouTube streaming a lot better than I do Twitch's. Like from what I've seen, Rumble seems like a viable option. Kick's a pretty good Twitch alternative if you still want to have something similar. Twitch would basically like pre-2016 Twitch. That's like the best way to describe Kick. But yeah, this is definitely the downfall of. It's gonna be a slow burn for sure. Because remember, it's backed by Amazon, and even I argue an even bigger company than Google, which backs YouTube. So it's definitely going to be a slow burn, but like the platform's not going to be viable anytime soon. In fact, like if I would recommend to any new streamer who's watching this, don't stream to Twitch anymore. Stream to Rumble, stream to Kick, stream to YouTube. Heck, find something else, you know. Just not Twitch. It's no longer viable. Don't do it. And guys, oh my god. The Illuminati saga. It's never ending. I don't think it's going to end. Not anytime soon. We have a video by a content creator named Swooped. She's done like a big 2-hour video on Illuminati covering everything. This seems to be doing pretty well. It came out about 2 days ago and it's got over 300,000. Good on her. In this video, she has a segment where she interviews Illuminati's ex-boyfriend. Also runs YouTube channel. So I'm very interested in seeing what he has to say. I also watched Augie video today, and he talks about how he interviewed her, and you know he was saying a lot similar stuff in his interview with him. So I'm interested in seeing everything, his new perspective. His girlfriend. Grab your popcorn, kids, because we're gonna be watching this.
I could trust things that she puts out there. We have someone else in this story that we need to hear from, whose story hasn't been heard in this recent scandal at all until right now in this video. Somebody whose story is so chilling, it completely redefines and in some ways solidifies everything that we have heard so far. Like, this is a story that started before nearly everything.
Illuminati is aware of how toxic and morally reprehensible these actions are, and has attempted to remove evidence from the internet by deleting her tweets and even editing down the private messages with other users in which she engages in these behaviors of bullying, threatening, to publicly ruin the images of people simply for disagreeing with her. All of these issues and behaviors stated here were just from the idea that someone might call her out, and I fear what might come afterwards.
So from the outside, that clip sounds like some random commentary channel talking about the current Illuminati controversy about Blair's pattern of behavior, her alleged abuse, her alleged paranoia, and providing their thoughts on it, right? Except this video was posted over 4 years ago. This is Blair's ex-boyfriend. Yeah, he goes by the username Azothan and is a former content creator who's since retired from YouTube. And he made a pair of videos about Blair's alleged abuse back in April of 2019, which accused...
Yeah, guys, Illuminati content has been evergreen for quite a long time. Like she's been insane for quite a while now.
Accuses Blair not only of consistent emotional abuse, but actively conspiring to ruin other content creators, constant bullying of himself and others, as well as threats of litigation and even possibly physical harm. He also makes the allegation that Blair tried doing something she accused r/ of doing, creating botnets in an attempt to get ahead on YouTube. Now, Azothan's evidence comes from screenshots that he captured over Discord and text messages, but throughout the course of Azothan's story, he also details how he had to block Illuminati's phone number, only for her to call and allegedly harass him further from burner phone numbers. Sound familiar? Kind of like Doobie Schmertz and the alt accounts that she used to harass the clique and all their friends. Kind of like the Creepshow art stalking days. And it was after one of these sock puppet accounts, if you will, that he decided to record one of his phone calls with Blair.
It's important to call out bullying, lying, doxing, and threats. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that Illuminati has engaged in all of these behaviors. I feel that I must state up front that for the last 2.5 years, I was involved in a romantic relationship with the YouTuber known as Illuminati. This relationship ended recently, and while none of the facts stated here are related to that association, it would be dishonest for me not to state this immediately.
I have seen your Twitter and the bull you've been spewing on there.
The harassment,
You asshat.
The abuse.
Because God knows why, because you're bitter about a breakup because your cash cow left you.
Now, I managed to get in
That's the sound of a perfectly sane woman, in my opinion. Guys. Right? That's a perfectly sane, logical woman speaking.
touch with Azothan via email after I saw his absolutely heartbreaking videos about Blair, and he has given me permission to share with you our conversations. So I'm going to sort of recreate this story as I understand it of Azothan's allegations.
And remember, these are allegations. Blair is welcome to share her side of the story.
Of abuse against Blair based on the YouTube videos and our email interviews. So by Azothan's account, the relationship that he had with Blair was complicated for a number of reasons, both financial and emotional. But he was—
Holy crap, that's her when she wasn't fat. Man, what YouTube success does to people.
very much in love with her at the time. While they were dating, which lasted off and on for about 2.5 years, Blair was still involved in Reddit-based content, and Azothan states that Blair was unhappy doing Reddit content, which is why she pivoted into the commentary space.
This is an infinitely competitive person we're talking about, and she wanted to dominate the space while it was hers. An early friendship with Fresh helped mold her content, but also led her to believe that anyone else utilizing that general framework was a copycat. I listened to endless rants about Misery Box, deservedly, Bumfreeze, and even Voicey here, being nothing more than mediocre mimics of herself and Fresh.
Which correlates with a lot of what I've heard from people like Tommy, like Nick, that she did not like competition in any space that so it makes sense that no matter where she went, she would always just rant and rave about anyone in the general vicinity of what she was making.
Here, Azothan makes the allegation that Blair used an r/controversy as a means to get ahead in the commentary space.
What fueled this was her anger at being so quickly outpaced by another channel. The others were merely nipping at her heels or falling behind. But r/, well, he was rocketing past. And her statements regarding his content were even more scathing. Eventually, she utilized information and statistics provided by a larger YouTuber to create the video that many still remember. A video taken down not because she believed she was wrong ever, but taken down because she saw it negatively affecting her subscriber count. For weeks after this, though, conversations would revolve exclusively around her plans to continue her campaign against r/, from encouraging smaller channels to, and I quote, continue the effort against him, to creating an entirely different channel, purchasing her own bots, and show that the growth patterns matched, ultimately looking to spend around $4,000 on that endeavor. I expressed a general belief that she had become obsessed over the situation and really needed to let it go. Over the next 2 weeks, this would lead to a rapid deterioration of our relationship and the eventual end of it.
What you just heard Azothan saying was that their relationship—
Dude, imagine like, I understand he was probably unemployed, but like, just imagine a scenario, right? Follow with me. You get home from like your regular 9 to 5. Maybe you have a significant other and they do YouTube. Maybe they start earn a bit of money from it. And then you have to hear about drama from you have to hear about drama because there's another YouTube channel that's similar to theirs. They don't like it. Honestly, I don't know what I would do. I probably walk. just imagine that. Like, babe, see what like imagine me in a relationship. Like, babe, you see what Hassan Piker did? Yes, dear. Oh god. I pity anyone who significant other is an online content creator.
Relationship ending was directly linked to Blair's level of obsession in taking down another YouTuber, even alleging that she was willing to spend $4,000 to create her own bot network just to take down a YouTuber she allegedly didn't like.
And then I asked you a simple yes or no question. Were you talking ill of me to other content creators? I even said I didn't think you were. It was just...
The answer is no.
I don't understand.
But now
why you dodged it.
Now it might change to a yes because now I'm gonna have to protect my ass.
Now I have to. That's such a weird way of phrasing it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me playing. I don't know. That is such a weird way. Like, why? Why do you see? Oh, I have to protect myself now. It just message people like, yo, my ex is crazy. That's all you have to do, and then majority of people aren't really going to believe what they have to say. But no, the fact that you say it like that, it means that you're worried about something leaking out. That's just me.
Now, the following breakup that they had was messy, just like virtually every other breakup ever, but things got even more sour when Blair was allegedly acting sketchy during a separate beef with a creator named Misery Box, which, according to Azothan himself in our conversations, may or may not even been that big of a deal at the time. Quote, I forgot the specific drama, but Misery Box was another big Reddit YouTuber whom Blair had disliked because he was having comparable growth while putting out content she said was, quote, shitty and derivative. I believe he was.
How dare they? They're making low effort content and they're being successful at it? How could this have happened?
Caught being a drunken D-canoe and was ostracized. Tragically, she then threatened and harassed some of his former mods on Discord when they couldn't give her everything she wanted from the situation.
So yeah. She goes to his mods. She gets all the dirt that she can on it. And then, when they won't give her more dirt, she threatens to throw them in with him. This woman is insane. You're not with her, you're against her. And you better do what she says or else.
So I asked Azothan if he could clarify what he meant by that last line, and he said this. Not give her everything she wanted was basically she didn't want to credit the mods who got the audio and spread it originally. This was audio assets that she had used. And when one mod got angry that she wasn't going to credit them, she threatened to paint the entire mod team as being the same as Misery Box, someone who had just been exposed. It looks like a case of Blair not crediting her sources, threatening to paint an entire mod.
Not crediting your sources, Blair. I thought you said that you did that. Because if you remember, the initial reason why Blair was getting a bunch of backlash was because of the Legal Eagle drama, and then H Bomber guy said she doesn't cite her source. In her initial response video, he said, yes I do. I cite all of my sources. Well, Exhibit A, Blair, you don't cite yours. Checkmate.
Group based on the actions of one who was mad about it. A lot of vague threats and, oh, wouldn't it be a shame if I made a video making you look as bad as Misery Box? Standard bully stuff. And Azothan sent me a ton of screenshots and receipts, which I don't have time to cover all of that today, but this looks like another time years ago where Blair was allegedly suggesting that she would make an expose on innocent mods just because she didn't want to credit them for their work. And things just get worse from there.
To be slightly fair, though, if the mods are being cringe, she's within her right to say, F off, that kind of thing. But to say that she's going to throw them in with him, that's a big L right there. Big L. I don't know, like how. I hope she knew that was going to get leaked. Because if she didn't think that was going to get leaked to someone, she really is.
In regards to their relationship, Azothan told me that, quote, when Blair and I first began interacting romantically, I had recently left my home of 27 years and moved to a whole strange place, in addition to a breakup. To which he said Blair, quote, had hacked my ex's Tumblr account and found evidence that she cheated on me. And then he also said that she would, quote, take me to Vegas to confess her love, but had a backup ticket to send me home that night if I didn't reciprocate. Can you imagine?
Just that's completely standard, not crazy girlfriend behavior at all, guys. I'm surprised if there wasn't talk of like them having paranoia. And dude, can you imagine like how often he got accused of like cheating on her? Probably a deep.
Imagine being in that situation where you find out if you don't say you love someone back, they're literally going to like send you immediately away and fly you back home. Yeah, that's a lot. And then he goes on and says that she, quote, made a tell-all breakup video about us back in 2017 during one of our many breaks. So I want you all to keep the phrase coercive control in mind, and we'll come back to that later with Wonderstruck Guy. But by Azathan's account, things were kind of hot and cold with Blair. Like, sometimes the love she gave was great, and other times, well, y'all heard the phone calls, right?
But it sounds like I'm not gonna diagnose Blair with like some mental illness, but it wouldn't surprise me if she had like some bipolar disorder. Like, it seems like with her mood, it's very high and mixed in a bit of like sociopath behavior, manipulative. She tries to be, how she tries to like play everyone so that way she can succeed in the end.
Now, Azathan also shared with me other manipulative or abusive behaviors that Blair allegedly did, including that she, quote, demand I spend my time exclusively playing Dark Souls 3 with her in my free time. Any attempt to go out to parties or karaoke or just make any social or emotional ties other than her were met with punishment. Essentially,
Sorry, babe, you can't go out tonight. It's Dark Souls 3 time. Wait, you know that meme where it's like, okay, dear, it's insert whatever o'clock, and like the Wojak just says, yes, dear. We need someone to format that into Illuminati, telling her boyfriend it's time to play Dark Souls 3.
isolating him from his family.
I mean, it could be worse. She could have been forcing him to play Dark Souls too.
And his support system, which is a very common manipulation tactic and a form of emotional abuse. But I wanted to know, like, what does Azathan mean by punishment? Well, according to him, it, quote, varied from verbal abuse to a couple days no contact to several weeks. When she did return from one of our breaks, it was with cruelly lurid stories about F-boys on Snapchat and all the fun that she had going out. I'm just like, what in the actual like,
look, man, I get abusive relationship. You know, it's easier said than done when it comes to cutting that person off. I'm sure when she was good to you, the times were. But when you have someone like that who's purposefully doing that kind of stuff, is on you to break that up. I'm glad that obviously it's been years, so I'm glad that you're away from her now. But it was really on you that you let that kind of situation play out for so long. You can disagree with me on that, but that's just my personal stance. He had a decent portion of how that relationship went. Not necessarily because of how he acted, but because he didn't take firmer stances, because he let that kind of behavior just fester and stayed with her for so long.
I'm trying to, because I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on this. Now, a little bit of context here too, though. Throughout the dying days of Azathan and Blair's relationship, Azathan claimed that Blair suggested the two of them should do a collab video to help support Azathan's much smaller channel. You know, working with his girlfriend, who, happened to have a huge platform, was exciting to him. But every time he asked her about it, he was met with either silence or indifference or sometimes straight up cruelty. This persisted even more so after the two of them broke up for what would be the final time.
What I'm saying is that I was angry about the fact that you were the one who proposed a collaboration, and then as soon as I was ready and put all this effort into it, you just kind of shut me down. It just seemed...
So it had nothing to do with the fact that I go, oh, I'm moving, I'm busy, I'm doing every single day. The only thing you had to ask me is, when are we collabing? When are we collabing? When are we collabing? And it's like, oh, you're treating me like a fan, Blair. And I'm like, well, perhaps you should have stopped acting like one.
You want to
She was the one who suggested the collaboration button.
Say you don't attack me, but then you straight up cook and call me a liar over things that you are 100% true. I'm done with I'm done with you.
Because God knows why, because you're bitter about a breakup because your cash cow left you. Like, off.
This, in combination with everything else, led to Azothan having enough. So he called her up to express how unhappy he was. Now, this wasn't the call that Azothan recorded. On this call, Azothan claimed that, quote, Blair and I had a phone call where she had told me that I was beneath her, that I was always going to be mediocre, and that she was better than that. And let me tell you what might be the most awful, heartbreaking thing Azothan shared with me. What he just said, that Blair told him he was beneath her and mediocre. Here's why she used those specific words. Quote, about her calling me mediocre and a burden. Those words were the exact ones I used 5 months before when I attempted to end my life. To know that as
Blair, you have a bad habit of using people's suicide notes to gain some type of weird personal advantage from someone. With Wonderstruck, with Click, now your ex-boyfriend. This is, once, maybe twice, you're pushing it. 3 times, without a shadow of a doubt, you're just a straight up awful person. And it's ironic how, like, the past couple of years, you've been trying to portray yourself as someone who's kind, caring, who stands up for LGBT rights.
Azothan had attempted to end his life, that in that time of immense pain, he thought he was nothing more than mediocre and a burden. And for Blair to allegedly strategically weaponize.
Remember, all alleged, guys. But my personal opinion,
those words against him later on disturbs me on a level that I didn't think that I would get to with this story. And it instantly makes me think of the fact that she did weaponize Wonder's mental health and self-harm note in her expose video that she posted just a couple weeks ago. So she does this to Azothan 4 years ago, Wonder a few weeks ago. Any way you look at it, to me, this demonstrates a pattern of abuse that goes beyond, YouTube drama, who has more subs, who plagiarized torn paper, and speaks to the idea that she may be so callous in her need to be above those closest to her that she resorts to words and actions that could cause very real harm. In fact, One Topic just posted his response video while I've been editing mine, so I will have to cover that in a part 2, but listen to what he said here.
I still don't want to believe all of this is true. I'm not convinced the person who did this did not intend real-world harm to us.
Assuming Azothan's account to be true, and I have no reason to doubt it, that is profoundly sad and deeply disgusting behavior from Blair. It broke my heart, like so much so that even though Azothan had already given me consent to share his story, I went back and asked him again if he's comfortable with me sharing that part of it, and you know what?
And good on her, but yeah, like, God, like, remember in my very first video covering this drama, when it was still the Legal Eagle stuff, I believe the Clicks video did come out at the time. But, like, I still said, yeah, I mean, if she ignores it, it's going to, like, if she ignores it, it will blow over and she'll be able to recover her. I could not have been more wrong in that instant, because time after time, she's losing everything. I mean, when she was still uploading, she got no views on anything. Expose video after expose video of former friends, former moderators started coming out. Like, holy crap, it was a content field day with this one woman, and now we have all the details from her ex coming out. it's she's done for. Sure, she might not lose subs massively. I believe she's still, let me check. I believe she's still within like the million sub range. Although I am interested in learning what exactly, how many subs has she during this whole. Real quick, Illuminati. Oh shit! Full screen. Holy crap! She has last 30 days. She has lost 120,000 subscribers. And keep in mind, people who are still sub to her, those are probably a lot of them dead subs. People who are subscribed but they forgot, because that happens occasionally. Like, you get really addicted to watching one person's content, and then you can go months at a time at watching another video of theirs. And remember, her type of content, it wasn't really her personality. It was, I'm morally right. Let me tell you why this person's bad. All right? There wasn't really much entertainment value from her. Heck, there wasn't really much she really did on the channel. It was really just like voiceover. Other people would make her thumbnails. Other people would edit her. And that's fine. But like, she definitely lost whatever personal connection she had to her fans has long been gone. All I have to say is, Rip Bozo, can I get L's in the chat, guys? L's in the chat. But now, let's move on to the next topic, a very controversial topic. I don't know how long I'll be getting into this. But Leafy versus Destiny has been very interesting for me to see. Like I said, I might have a hot take here. I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but you know what? It's fine if you do. I'm not gonna act like Blair and track your personal information down. This whole thing, Leafy, it's just been very entertaining. I can't even though he said a lot of awful stuff, he's done a lot of awful stuff. This past couple of weeks, I can't find myself getting angry or upset with him. One, because I'm not personally. And two, this is what Lee does. He purposefully angers people by saying whatever he can that he knows is going to make people upset. And he knows that no matter what you say about trans people, you can say I'll do anger them. So I don't even think he really believes a lot what he says. I think he purposely just says it so that way he can get a rise out of people. And it's been working, and he's not just been making that community mad. Obviously, he went after Destiny's wife, Destiny himself. And okay, how to navigate this? You can look at it from this perspective here, which is what I kind of lean towards more. If the picture he showed was on some type of campsite that she was on, or what's I know it's been already debunked that because her family isn't straight up lewds in or lewds, but still, if it was from some type of monetized platform that she was on, she is perfectly in her right to DMCA. And I stand by that. She's perfectly within her right to DMCA. It's from a personal leak. I believe she would be allowed to have some type of privacy. Now, I understand Destiny is justifiably upset in this situation. How'd I say this? Him advocating for Leafy's band on Rumble, it's pathetic, because I think Destiny is more than well aware of it's 100% more effective to call him out on your stream and just make fun of him, okay? Like with, ironically, like with iDubbbz back in the day. He didn't really call for his platform to be taken away. Just made fun of him, and it was super effective. Like, that's all Destiny has to do is, yeah, he has to make fun of him. And not just by saying, oh, he's trying to ride off my coattails when it comes to being famous online. Like, no. He went after your personal relation. He went after your personal. Make fun of that. Like, make fun of his personal life. Like, make fun of the fact that the dude's got no chin. You can make fun of the fact that like I've never seen Leafy in a relationship before. He probably doesn't even have one. You know, make fun of that. But instead, and I understand, like, he's walked it back now. But he was still, the fact that he said that on stream, I think it's reprehensible. But again, that's just my take. You don't have to agree with me. I understand that, like, a lot of people say that they're not for deplatforming, and something odd like this happens, and then they're 100% for it. But so that's all I really have to say. I understand it was a shorter stream, but I had fun with the topics. You know, I saw all this stuff go down, and I couldn't wait till Saturday. I just had to talk about this all now, because this is all just like too interesting to me. This is Nerdy John, signing out. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Have a good rest